Brooklyn Independent Television.
The Crown Heights conflict was a shameful chapter in Brooklyn's history, which left many scars. Anna Lamonta Salisbury is here with the story of how the community is moving past its problems and healing decades later.
In June, Crown Heights, Brooklyn celebrated Family Day. For 17 years, the 71st Precinct, the 71st Community Council, have collaborated with neighborhood groups for a resource fair and Family Day picnic. Over 24 groups distribute flyers about local businesses and programs that advocate conflict resolution. Grassroots organizations like the Crown Heights Community Mediation Center assist in building relationships cross cultures. They arbitrate difficult conversations about race and religion in Crown Heights, a neighborhood that was once the center of tensions between Hasidic Jews and the largely Caribbean and African American communities. The memory of what once happened here are not obvious.
Everything's kosher. Don't worry, it's kosher. Even the ketchup's kosher. Oh, okay. All right.
The day began with a gathering of community leaders and concerned citizens at the corner of Empire Boulevard and New York Avenue. As the marchers step off, people gather on porches and sidewalks. We found quite a few people who didn't know about the parade or Family Day.
It was not publicized at all. I would love to have known about this so I can take the kids out.
But many knew about the events that happened here 20 years ago.
A little boy was hit by a car by this Jewish guy, and he fled prosecution, and he was never ever prosecuted for this, so it became a big demonstration and riots.
Meet Valerie Boyd. She's talking about the Crown Heights riots of August 1991. A driver in a motorcade carrying the spiritual leader of an Orthodox Jewish sect struck and killed 7-year-old Caribbean child Gavin Cato. As word spread of the incident, verbal conflicts escalated into physical violence. Noel McDonald, a lifelong resident of Crown Heights, said it wasn't always like this.
There was joy here. I mean, you had peace. People knew each other. You had neighbors. You had people. You had foreigners. You had people who were citizens. People who, were open and respectful. People who were willing, to reach out to one another. People who were willing to help out the elderly, the young. You cared about one another in this community.
What changed?
What changed after the fact, like in the late 80s and 90s when everything was brought out to the streets, from the Tawana Brawley to the police brutality, everybody had a sense of fear. Everybody stopped caring about one another. Everybody just had a lack of respect.
According to Edward Shapiro's book, Crown Heights, Blacks, Jews, and the 1991 riots, some of the tension stemmed from the distribution of government resources, namely housing and police protection, and perceived favoritism in the densely populated and impoverished area. The 3 to 4 day riot ended with 127 arrests, 38 civilians, and 152 police officers reported injuries. 6 stores were destroyed, and 27 police automobiles burned. Veronica eventually made her way to the picnic, where we met other residents who were involved in building relationships between the two groups.
Nice, because from when I was living here 12 years ago without kids, I saw kids were sort of wary of each other. They didn't know, can we say hello? What's going to be the response from both sides? And now I see there's more unity, amongst the younger kids. So there's more understanding between different groups of children. They want to be friends. They want to meet other children in the neighborhood.
The leadership program taught me how to speak with other people other than my ethnic group. You know what I'm saying? And I found that very joyful because all the years I had seen them, I had lived with them, but I never coexisted with them. And now I'm starting to be able to do this here.
We're in the best of times. Where people think this is the beginning of the end, this is the end of the beginning. We're at a new part and a new time, and our technology, our knowledge, our struggle, those shoulders we stand on will make it better for these little ones.
This is just the time that we both will realize love is true, true.
For Brooklyn Review, I'm Anna Lamontas Salisbury.
Got to be on the right track, don't let go.
Download this program's podcast on iTunes. Keywords Brooklyn Independent Television.